Call to order the December 2025 meeting of the Knox County Board of Zoning Appeals. Madam Clerk, if you would call the roll.
Mr. Brown?
Present.
Mr. Repass?
Present.
Mr. Wood? Mr. Williams?
Present.
Mr. Anderson?
Present.
Mr. Elliott?
Present.
Ms. Garrett?
Present.
Mr. Graves?
Present.
Mr. Huff?
Present.
8 members are present.
If you would join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. My name's Paul Huff. I'm the chairman of the Knox County Board of Zoning Appeals. To my right is Mr. Curtis Brown, the vice chairman, and to his immediate right is Mr. Myers Morton, our representative from the Knox County Law Director's Office. We have additional folks present here from codes and others. Steve, if you would.
Yes, Steve Elliott, the Director of Development Services, Miranda Ward from the Building Codes Department, and Mike Reynolds from Knox Planning.
Thank you. Our voting procedures require a simple majority of the board members present. Today, there are 8 members present. I got that right? Yeah. I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes from previous meeting.
So moved.
Seconded.
Motion's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. The Knox County Board of Zoning Appeals is authorized to hear variances and hear other matters by the Tennessee Code and Knox County Zoning Ordinance, specifically 6.60 Board of Zoning Appeals. These laws prescribe strict parameters, the meeting of which is required to grant a variance. The burden of proof that an application meets these parameters rests on the applicant. Quoting from the Knox County Code of Ordinances 6.60.04 variances, the purpose of the variance is to modify the strict application of the specific requirement of this ordinance in the case of exceptionally irregular, narrow, shallow, or steep lots or other exceptional physical conditions whereby such strict application would result in practical difficulty or unnecessary hardship which would deprive an owner of the reasonable use of their land. The variance shall be used only where necessary to overcome some obstacle which is preventing an owner from using their property as the zoning ordinance intended. For each matter, the clerk will read the request into the record. The chair will then ask if the applicant is present. The chair will then ask if there is opposition or others who wish to present. You do not have to come forward at this time. Once we determine the speakers for an item, we will call the governmental agencies such as Knox County Codes, Planning, or Engineering to make statements regarding the facts pertinent to the property and background of their request. Board members may ask questions of the governmental agencies once they have made their statements. The chair will then call on the applicant to come forward, state their name and address for the record, and present their evidence and reasoning supporting the granting of a variance. If there is no opposition, the applicant has 10 minutes to present their case. If there is opposition, the applicant and opposition each have 15 minutes. After the applicant's presentation, the board members may ask questions of the applicant. The chair will then call for opposition or other parties who have up to 15 minutes to speak. This 15 minutes applies to all parties, so if there are multiple parties that wish to speak, please determine how you're going to divide your time beforehand. After the opponents present their opposition, the board members may ask questions of the opponents. Finally, there will be a discussion of the case by the board, during which time the board members may ask further questions of parties that have already testified. The board will then make any determinations it deems necessary. Our bylaws allow an applicant at the initial hearing of the matter to request a deferral of 30 or 60 days without prejudice. In the event of a deferral of an application or failure to appear, any opponents that may be heard on the record at a meeting where the application they oppose appears on the agenda. Mr. Law Director, if you would, please swear in those wishing to speak.
Well, each of you that's going to present testimony before this board, please stand and raise your right hand. Do each of you swear or affirm the testimony you'll give to this board is the truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Thanks, sir. Okay, I guess we'll start with item 4A.
4A is a request of Stephen Ward for waiver of lot intensity from 2 acres for 2 dwellings to 1.91 acres for 2 dwellings. The property is located at 7600 Clapchapel Road, parcel ID 021-095. Property is zoned agricultural in the 8th Commission District.
Is the applicant present? Is there any opposition to this? Any statement from codes?
No statement on this item, Mr. Chairman, but there was a agenda correction we needed to make prior to the meeting.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry, I did forget that. Are there any agenda changes or corrections we need to make?
Yes, under the deferred items, item 5B has been withdrawn, so we will not hear that today.
Thank you.
Turn his mic on, Steve.
Yes, sir, if you would, please state your name and address for the record.
Sure. My name is Stephen Ward with Ward Land Surveying, 667 Maynardville Pike, Knoxville, Tennessee, 37918.
And what evidence do you have to support your request for variance?
They're what they're wanting to do. They've got an existing house there. They want to build a new house, and they would like to live in the existing house while they're building that new house, and then the old one will be tore down. So it's a temporary situation that they need a variance for a short while to build a new house so that they don't have to live elsewhere in the interim.
Mr. Graves, I think this is your district.
Yeah, well, you've already answered the question about tearing it down. I think we just mainly wanted that for the record. That was our only concern.
Yes.
And,
No, it's a short-term temporary situation.
yeah, it was pretty obvious that we weren't going to leave that existing one
Yeah.
in
Yeah,
place.
it's,
But
yeah, you would not cite it that way if you were planning to leave that, so.
no, that was my only question.
I think I asked already, but is there any opposition to this? Hearing none, entertain a motion for Mr. Graves.
Sure. I'd like to make a motion that we grant the waiver of lot intensity from 2 acres for 2 dwellings to 1.91 acres for 2 dwellings.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposition? Motion carries.
Thank you all.
4B is a request of Matt Sprinkle for waiver of rear yard setback from 16 feet to 4 feet. The property is located at 4309 Eddington Road, parcel ID 122EC026. Property is zoned business and manufacturing in the 9th Commission District.
Anything from codes on this?
We have nothing at this time.
Is there any opposition to this? None. Okay, sir, if you could, state your name and address for the record.
Sure. My name is Matt Sprinkle with Sprinkle Engineering. I'm here on behalf of the property owner. Address is 631 Carch Drive in Maryville, Tennessee.
If you could, give us your rationale for asking for the variance.
Yes, in order to, for the building that's required for their business operations, they are requesting a reduction in the rear setback due to the 60-foot stream buffer at the front of the property, which is restricting use of that part of the property.
I'm sorry, did you say you're asking for a reduction in the stream buffer?
No, the rear setback.
Oh, there is, okay.
The stream buffer is the reason it's pushed so
Okay.
far to the rear.
And from the drawing that you provided, it appears that it's just the corner of the building that is too close to property line because it's kind of chamfered.
That's correct. The 16-foot is the rear setback required by code, and we got clarified through zoning that that little angled area is considered the rear setback as well. So it's just that corner. It's within the setback.
Well, allow me to help you with a little bit here because you have an unusual physical feature, the buffer. and a slightly irregular lot, you're asking for a variance based on those two situations. Is there any further discussion? Any other questions? Then I'll make a motion that we approve this request due to the unusual situation in front with the riparian setback and the odd shape of the lot.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded. Any opposition?
What, we had also requested that, there was another issue with the side setbacks. I didn't get in the,
This
guess-
one's on CB, so there actually doesn't have to be a side setback reduction.
Okay.
It's 0 feet.
okay. Okay, sorry.
Okay, so the motion's been made and seconded. No further discussion. All those please, in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any no votes? Hearing none, motion carries.
Thank you.
4C is a request of Christy Gettleman for waiver of lot intensity from 1 acre to .86 acres for Lot 1R, waiver of lot intensity from 1 acre to .83 acres for Lot 2, and waiver of lot intensity from 1 acre to .3 for Lot 3. The property is located at 4008 Copper Ridge Road, parcel ID 077-11604, 077-17701. Property is zoned agricultural in the 6th Commission District.
Are you the applicant, ma'am?
I am.
Is there any opposition to this?
I'm sorry.
Any statements from Knox County?
We have none.
Any questions? Well, any questions of the government agencies by the board? If you would, please state your name and address for the record.
I'm Christy Gettleman. My address is 114 Spyglass Way in Hendersonville, Tennessee, 37075.
And could you give us your rationale for requesting this change?
Yes, Ms. Buffalo is a double hand amputee and needs assistance. And so she is putting a caretaker on in the parcel behind her. And that's why we needed a reduction in the size.
Mr. Elliott, this is yours. I'll let you take the lead.
Thank you. Well, thank you. That seems like a reasonable request. In the pre-meeting, I think the question we all kind of had is we were having, and those of us that went and visited the site, were having trouble, visualizing how the three plots were going to come together on the site.
Yeah.
And we just wanted to make sure that the lots are used as intended and end up the size they are stated on here, the .86 to .83, et cetera.
Yes, sir.
Is our main concern. Can you clarify for us at all? I think you said they're going in behind the current.
Correct. Basically, that right-of-way on the left-hand side, so Barbara lives in the house in the front, and on the left-hand side, actually, they're gonna take the right-of-way up to the right hand. And the area where it says Fullerton is roughly where the house is going to set. That's the soil map that was created to show that it had appropriate soils for a septic.
I'm a little confused. I'm looking at Miranda, I think it's
sorry,
the next
the left.
slide. It's the one, the color, that one right there. Can you zoom in just a tad? Right now, it appears that there's a common use, I'm not sure the exact terminology for it, common use driveway that serves lot 116.04 and 117.01 and perhaps
Correct.
117.04 and 117.02. Why would you need another right-of-way to serve whatever this new lot designation is going to be?
My understanding was from the surveyor that would just give them a dedicated right-of-way.
Yeah.
But why would they need a dedicated right-of-way? They've already got a common use right-of-way for those other houses to use, right?
Yeah,
I mean, is that a requirement for the subdivision of the property?
no, I'm not for sure that access could only serve 5 houses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think our preference would be that it's shared access, the existing access, and not create a new driveway location.
You wouldn't want another driveway that close together on Copper Ridge Road.
No, we would, our preference would be that they combine. We didn't realize they were creating that right of way until we were looking at the plat when we got down here. So our preference would be that they combined up the access.
And okay, so that was one of my concerns. My other concern was the drawing that your surveyor submitted. It's showing that the size of the three potential lots, 1, 2, and 3, are essentially the same size in acreage.
Correct.
But visually, they're not even close to the same size. The lot you're trying to provide behind Ms. Buffalo is her name, I think?
Correct.
It appears to be considerably smaller than the other two. Visually, they just don't look the same size. So,
Well, I would assume that's incorporating that right of way too. Which we could do away and use the other one. My understanding from the surveyor is that he was told that it would need its own independent right of way. And I believe it was because the other road serviced the maximum amount of homes was our understanding. But if we can use that one, obviously it's gonna save Barbara money.
well, the right-of-way that's shown for the driveway doesn't terminate at the back property line of the new proposed lot. It goes all the way back to lot number 3, I guess. So it appears that it's a driveway serving property lot number 3, which they already have a driveway access. So the surveyor's got some issues he needs to sort out before we can really talk about this in an educated way, I think.
Okay.
I agree, Chairman. Engineering would give the variance to have 6 lots off of this easement.
You have that right to do that.
Yeah, to avoid, the only thing would be when the plat comes in, it would become a meeting plat because Planning Commission would have to approve that variance. We would rather have all the lots accessing one area than having 3 driveways on this frontage. So I think the best case here is maybe to defer this one and let's get their surveyor to talk to us and try to work it out with him.
And I'm not prepared to entertain a motion to approve the lessening of the required acreage per lot, because there's some issues need to be sorted out here. But I think if you can get those issues sorted out, we might be able to favorably look at this in the future if it's deferred.
It looks like Lot 1R would become conforming if you remove that upper easement. I'm assuming they're backing that out of that lot area, so then they would only need 1 variance for Lot 2.
Yeah. Well, have your surveyor get with Steve's office and try to sort this out because they've got some cleaning up they need to do.
Okay.
Okay.
Will do. Thank you.
So we're going to defer this to our January meeting, assuming she can get it sorted out by then. I think I do need to make, Mr. Elliott, can you make a motion to defer that?
I'd like to make a motion to defer the waiver of lot intensity at 4008 Copper Ridge Road until we have further information from their surveyor.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Hearing none, motion carries. For 4D.
4D, request of Daniel Birch for waiver to extend the industrial boundary line 100 feet. Property is located at 4329 Greenway Drive, parcel ID 059JA021. Property is zoned industrial and general residential in the 8th Commission District.
Is the applicant here? Well, since this is there any opposition to this? No applicant, no opposition. I guess by default it is deferred.
That would
Did he give any indication he wasn't going to be here?
No, we've not heard from them. They didn't.
Well, then I'll go ahead and make a motion that we defer this, for 30 days, due to a lack of, due to no show of the applicant. Motion been made and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposition? Hearing none, motion
Yay.
carried.
Opposition?
One opposition. So by a vote of 7-1, it passes.
Is Mr. Brown in opposition?
Yeah.
Mr. Brown.
Item 4E is a request of Jack Fernarni for waiver of height regulation for a new accessory building from 18 feet to 27 feet. The property is located at 7821 Millertown Pike, parcel ID 051-02502. Property is zoned agricultural in the 8th Commission District.
The applicant is here, I see. Is there any opposition to this? No opposition. Any statement from codes?
None at this time.
Any question of the codes, folks, by the board? If you could state your name and address, please, for the board, or for the record.
The applicant is Jack Fenari, 7821 Millertown Pike. My name is Joe Hultquist, 2240 Fisher Place, Knoxville. Here just in support of him and to answer questions.
If you, can you please tell us the rationale for requesting the permit, the variance, excuse me?
Yes, Mr. Fenari has a parcel of approximately 4 acres in an agricultural zone fronting Millertown Pike and accessing Millertown Pike. It's an L-shaped lot, as you'll see. Has a pretty good sized house, pretty good sized footprint, 2-story house. Wants to build an auxiliary building / barn, technically an auxiliary building under the code. The code unfortunately limits auxiliary buildings in height much more than it does residential buildings. He was told that he could build this as a residential structure and not have an issue, but he doesn't want a residential structure. He simply wants a utilitarian auxiliary building. So the request is to vary the height requirement from 18 feet to, I believe you said 27 feet, although we don't think we're going to have to go that high.
Mr. Graves.
Sorry, you mentioned there at the end that you may not need to go that high. When will the final drawings be done? I assume you're
Well,
waiting on our
we have the
approval.
final drawings. I'm sorry, and they have, I believe the building elevations, which is the side views, you can see on the screen. And I think those may be dimensioned. We just got the finals back from the architect. So we're under 27 feet, I think. But I don't, let's just say 27 feet for safe, to make sure that we meet the requirements. But I believe we're going to be under it.
So this will not be any type of barn dominium or any other type of living structure, even if it's approved as an auxiliary structure, correct?
Correct. It will not be anything other than an auxiliary structure.
Okay. My chief concern when I heard the height and the shape of the lot, this is going to be between the neighbor, at 7823, I believe, and their view of the ridge line. Just want to kind of be an advocate for them as well. So can you comment on where we're at with the neighbors?
Mr. Fenari can speak to that, but he has, for the record, letters signed by the neighbors on either side, including the one that you referenced, saying that they are in support of this application and have no problem with it.
Okay. And then my last question is, if by chance this variance was denied, I assume you would probably move forward with making it a residential structure and meeting the codes there to continue on with the structure?
Well, that decision has not been made yet, but it might or might not, because to meet the International Residential Code is much more costly than to build a simple accessory building and to meet the code requirements, the building code requirements for that kind of structure. So he may not be able to build it, given the additional cost, and there's no rationale, there's no need for a residential structure. So I can't, he could speak to it too, but that would be, based on our conversation, I think that's where we stand, or he stands.
Okay. My only other question would be to this group is, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but go ahead and finish, and then I've got a couple of things.
We've got these, affidavits for the record, and I'm not disputing the signatures are legitimate, but do we need any type of notarized documentation anytime somebody signs something like this? Is that necessary?
Do you have any doubts?
I don't have any doubts, but would it be prudent to have those?
Their testimony and the signatures suffice.
Okay, okay. Those are my only questions.
Steve, you got something?
Yes, two things. One, my suggestion would be that we only give the minimum amount required for the variance, and 24 feet would be the height that they need. 27's to the tip of the roof. We would measure it the way this architect has shown on there, 24 feet. So my suggestion is that we only grant the variance to the minimum they need, and that would be 24 feet, not 27. Secondly, this structure still has to be built to the IRC. Since it's not going to be considered a dwelling, there is some egress stuff that won't have to be met, but it still will have to meet all the structural requirements of the IRC. So the only difference would be that there could be some larger windows required if it were a dwelling, but it still will have to meet the IRC code.
A question I have, if we could scroll over in the other direction here, what are the heights on the right-hand side there? I just can't see, like 10 feet, 8, and then in between is 2 feet, is that right?
20 feet.
20 feet, so that, just by the rules, they could go to 18 feet to the bottom of those trusses, right? So don't we really only need to give a 2-foot variance here?
It's to the average height of the roof.
Yeah.
But the regulations here say that the 18-foot height limitation.
I think it's, Mr. Repass, I think it is confusing because it says when the roof pitch matches. Maybe I'll let Bart come up here and explain it. You're getting out of my wheelhouse here. Let us read it here real
Sure,
quick.
okay, thank you.
Move along, and then we'll get you an answer.
Thank you so much.
I had a question for codes, actually. With height restrictions in county restrictions on the height restrictions, is that something the UDO is going to be addressing or may be addressing?
Yes. One thing that the consultant we've hired to look at our zoning ordinance has made some recommendations on is that we should increase the height of accessory structures. I think they made a recommendation of 25 feet. Obviously, that's not played out. It's not been voted on by county commission, but that is the recommendation they made.
Yeah, but it is something that's very potential in the future.
Yes.
The way I read the regulation, if the pitch of the accessory building needs to match the primary use structure, which I assume would be the house, the existing house, then the 18 feet can be exceeded, but the bottom chord of the roof structure, roof trusses, cannot, in any case, exceed 18 feet.
Correct. So
they would still need a variance because their chords are higher than 18 feet.
correct. Yes, that's correct.
By 2 feet. But I don't know if the pitch of this accessory building matches the pitch of the main
It does
building.
not.
It does not. So we're back to where we were. In order to get a building permit for this structure, it's gonna be a building permit for an accessory structure, not an occupied structure. Is that correct?
That's correct. It'll be an accessory structure.
And if it ever becomes occupied, then you gotta get another building permit, right?
That's correct, yes, to convert it from accessory to a dwelling.
Mr. Borton, I don't know if there's any way to, I don't know if there's any way to make this approval contingent on the fact that this building will never be permitted for occupancy.
Without another application process for a proper permit, I think you can.
But can we make this can we approve this application solely for an unoccupied accessory structure? If it ever becomes something else, then they would need to come back for another variance for the height of the building for, as far as an occupied structure?
Excuse
I
me,
understand
Mr.
they have to do that.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, it would not, if this were to become a residential structure, it would be allowed by right under the code because they can be up to 35 feet high, I believe. So to me, that's kind of a moot point. I'm sorry, I just wanted to interject that.
Yes, I concur with him. If they ever converted it to a dwelling, it would be conforming. It wouldn't need a variance. He could build a garage apartment here and build it 35 feet high.
Okay. I have no other questions.
Nothing else, I will make a motion, we'll go with the 24 feet. So we'll, I make a motion, we grant the waiver of height regulation for new accessory building from 18 to 24 feet to meet this project.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. I would make only one comment, just kind of this is kind of a comment that I wish everybody that came before the board would do. When you come with an application, please bring the most current, up-to-date information.
Yes. Thank you.
Having said that, any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye. Oh, you've got a question? I'm sorry,
I just want to make sure that we do put in to the record that we are changing this from 27 feet to 24 feet.
Yes. That was a part of his motion, so it is on the record. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Hearing none, motion carries.
Thank you.
Moving on now to the first only deferred item, 5A.
5A is a request of Ames Brown for waiver of periphery boundary from 35 feet to 2 feet. Property is located at 1135 Skytop Lane, parcel ID 037JC065. Property is zoned planned residential in 7th Commission District.
Is the applicant here?
Yes, I am.
That would be you. Is there any opposition to this? No. Any statement from codes?
We have none.
If you would, please state your name and address for the record.
Ames Brown, I'm the property owner of 1135 Skytop Lane, Powell, Tennessee 37849.
And could you give us the rationale you have for asking for this request?
Yeah, so I actually have already built the structure a couple of years ago. I was unaware that there was a setback requirement. Looked up, it's a 10 by 12 accessory structure. Since it was under 200 feet, I realized that I needed a permit. And then when it came to my attention, I guess, that I needed a setback, I realized, I guess they told me that the 35 feet is the setback since I'm on the perimeter of the neighborhood, which I don't meet. I've got a power line that runs right through the middle of the 15-foot utility easement in the backyard there. And so when I built the structure, I tried to get it as far back as I could out of the easement and out from underneath the power line. Otherwise, I would have had to put it pretty much up against the back of my house or in the middle of the yard.
So you built this yourself, or did your builder build this?
No, I built it.
Ms. Garrett?
How long had it been built before you realized that you needed a building permit and there were setback issues?
It's been there approximately a year and a half to 2 years.
Okay. I'm going to ask this to Coach. Do we have a complaint? Is that how this was brought to our attention? Was there a complaint?
We received a complaint in August of this year, but it appears to us from aerials that it had been there at least a year at the time when we received the complaint. So it's been there quite some time.
So the complaint didn't come because he was building. It was already built and so
It was
on.
already built, yes.
And have you applied for a building permit for it yet? So I know it's already been built, but have you applied?
So my understanding is since it's under 200 feet, I don't need a building permit. I just need the variance.
That's
Is that
accurate.
correct?
He doesn't need a building permit. The building code exempts structures, accessory structures under 200 square feet.
Do we know anything from KUB about what they say about the easement?
I had reached out to KUB, and I guess Miranda had talked to him.
Yes, I talked with the representative from KUB. He said that they were okay with the height of that structure, that it wouldn't interfere with their power lines right now, but he said if there is ever work to be done on them, that they would have the right to move that or tear it down if they needed to access their lines.
Were you aware of that?
Yes, I was aware.
All right. And I think as we talked in the agenda review, there was some issue with the drainage easement.
Yes, and I want to clarify, he would have to apply for a zoning review if this variance is approved, and then we would have engineering review it. It doesn't appear to me from the aerials or the topography that he would be impacting any type of drainage easement. We get those on the perimeter of all subdivisions. Sometimes we do have drainage infrastructure in them. Most of the time we don't. When there's none there, we wouldn't care if it was in it.
Yeah, the property backs up to a large agricultural lot, and it's the very end of my lot starts to kind of go down a hill into those woods. And the structure was built partially on that hill. It's on like 9 concrete piers.
That's all I've got for now.
Well, I don't like this for a couple of reasons. Number one, I've never been a fan of I just didn't know as an excuse for getting a relief on something that's clearly stated. And 2 feet, I realize right now it's just a wooded area, but it may not always be that way. Somebody may clear all those trees and put a fence line up on his property line and run cattle out there. I don't know. I don't know what the future land use for that parcel will be. But it doesn't seem fair to the person that owns that property that you have a shed that's 2 feet from his property line that I'm not sure how you maintain that area between your building and the property line. I personally am too wide to walk through a 2-foot path without encroaching on the adjacent property. Shut up, Steve.
Yeah, it's definitely, I mean, I've got back there and put siding, it's got siding that matches my property, my house, my primary property. And so there's plenty of room to get back there and maintain my building and also maintain the barbed wire fence that's back behind it.
How hard would it be for you to move that forward 10 feet?
It's on 9 concrete piers that are sunk 4 feet deep, so it's not really something that's movable. And that would also put it pretty much directly under the power line. So right now it's not under the power line at all.
Okay, Bza R already said they're okay with it being on the power line.
I
That's not
don't
a
know if
problem.
there would be okay with it being directly underneath it though. Cause I know when I talk to them, right now there's a single phase and a neutral. And then they've come along after I built the structure and they built, or they ran, I guess, fiber, or communications underneath. And so, I guess there was a certain clear distance you have to be from the neutral. And so where I'm at right now, I've got that clear distance, but if you move the structure directly underneath the power line, from the top of the roof, I may or may not have that clear distance to the neutral power line.
Could KUB change their mind and make that a future issue if they say it's okay today, but later they determine it's not?
Yeah, it's their easement, so they could change their mind and tear it down or move it or order him to move it.
If we granted this variance and it went, you said it was gonna, we have to go to engineering for them to review it, for zoning review. There's also always a possibility too that they could say, no, this isn't gonna work,
Yeah.
and require him to move it.
Yeah, and he would have to make provisions for the drainage at that point or relocate it.
Is it a frame structure, stick-built?
Excuse me?
Is it a stick-built frame structure?
Yeah, it's framed just like a house.
And what's the slope between your house and the back property line? Is it
It's flat.
flat?
Yes.
So, yeah, moving it would be an expense, but you could jack it up and slide it forward. You could actually, apparently you've got enough room to get it completely out from under the easement on the other side.
Yeah, at that point, it's probably gonna be an eyesore for my neighbors. Right now, I have approval from the neighbors on both sides of me before I built it, but I don't know if they're gonna want it, right beside their, well, and also I guess I have I don't know what the side setback is. I think is it what, 5 feet?
5 feet on the sides.
No, I'm not talking about, I'm talking about moving it straight forward towards the house, not from side to side, straight forward.
So right now, the front of it is about 2 feet from being directly underneath the power line. So I'd have to go probably at least 20 feet forward, which would put it directly in the middle of my yard if I were to slide it forward.
I'm not sure I understand why that's a problem. I mean, it doesn't require a variance, and your neighbors, frankly, if they have a problem with it being in the middle of your yard, they'll just have to get used to it, because there really is there's no relief we can give you on that.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna hurt my property value to have a shed taking up my whole backyard. My kids won't have anywhere to play, and when I look out the screen porch, I'm staring at the back of a shed. So, I mean, this is a Smith-built lot, so it's already tiny, and then I've got the easement and the power line to deal with. So I've kind of got an unusual circumstance that I've got to work around. I have to provide, if they do need to work on the power lines, they're gonna have to get trucks or equipment on either side of my house to get back there, so I can't put a shed blocking that. So right now, they've been able to get back there. They've cleared trees since it's been there. They've strung up a new line along those poles while it's been there. It hasn't been an issue.
Whose was this again? Mr. Graves? Ms. Garrett, excuse me. Well, Ms. Garrett, I'll leave it up to you.
With Mr. Huff, I'm not a huge fan of asking forgiveness instead of permission, even in spite of the fact that we're not aware at the time. I think, we need to make ourselves aware anytime we're adding something or doing something to our properties of what the zoning requirements are. And I'm not a huge fan of 2 feet, but I do understand that KUB may come along and say, we don't want you to put that underneath the peripheral lines, so. I'm gonna make a motion to approve the waiver of the peripheral boundary from 35 feet to 2 feet, due to the, power line easement that runs to the rear yard.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any further discussion?
The rear setback though, right? She's only reducing the peripheral.
All those in favor, please say aye. All those opposed, please say no.
No.
No. I'm sorry. Steve, you had something?
That's okay. So did that motion pass?
We have to
We haven't we got to call the roll.
Okay, because he also needs a rear setback, so you're gonna need to make a motion to reduce the rear setback from 5 feet to 2 feet. 'Cause right now, you've only reduced the periphery, he still has to have a rear setback. So let's see what happens to the periphery, then you can make that motion once you see what happens here.
Okay, that'll work. Go ahead. All those, call the roll.
Mr. Brown?
No.
Mr. Repass?
Aye.
Mr. Wood is not here. Mr. Williams? Mr. Anderson? Mr. Elliott? Ms. Garrett? Mr. Graves?
Aye.
Mr. Huff?
No. So the motion to approve the peripheral setback passes. Now I guess I'll make a motion that I'll let Ms. Garrett make the motion.
I need to make a motion to,
Approve the rear setback from 5 feet to 2 feet.
okay, I'll make a motion to approve the rear setback from 5 feet to 2 feet due to the power line issues.
I second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say no.
No.
No. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Brown?
No.
Mr. Repass?
Aye.
Mr. Wood's not here. Mr. Williams? Mr. Anderson? Mr. Elliott? Ms. Garrett? Mr. Graves?
Aye.
Mr. Huff?
No.
6-2.
Okay, you got your variance.
Thank you.
All we did was kick it down the road and let KUB deal with it. Frankly, I hope they tell him he's got to tear it down. Any other business to come before the board?
I make a motion to dismiss.
Motion to adjourn has been made. Is there a second? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
No opposition? We're adjourned.